Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 bot cast. Today, we have got ourselves two bots I don't believe I've cast before. In the top right, we have got HarvesterZerg, showing us its possible actions there. Is 0, 1 base, 1 drones. Okay, so I guess it's just gonna do like a dice roll to pick what build it does. Who knows? Anyway, in the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have got Sharpy PvP Easy, apparently. So that's an interesting name. But yeah, Sharpy taking on HarvesterZerg in a PvZ, which should be a fun match. HarvesterZerg, they're actually saying this bot has trained for 3,700 games, which is quite a few. That's a lot of StarCraft, but not as many as I have played, which I am kind of proud to say, but I don't know. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you have enjoyed these botcasts, make sure, as always, to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel by joining the bell gang in the bottom left-hand side of the map. Sharpy is saying, looks like you want a nice swarm. I'm not sure what that means, but I do find the random blinking of this bot trying to decide whether it wants to build what it wants to build. I'm not sure if that's just to keep the drone active or what. It was queuing up an evo, queuing up a spawning pool, queuing up an extractor. Yeah, I'm kind of curious what this behavior's about, really. Yeah, interesting behavior there from HarvesterZerg. Queen pops out, instantly injects, which is cool to see, and then just gonna try and chase away the probe of Sharpy. Now, Sharpy's gonna have to react to a very early Ling Roach aggression that's gonna be coming from HarvesterZerg. There is a Cyber Core getting up for Sharpy, but we'll have to see how the response is programmed by Sharpy to deal with this. I mean, something like a Roach Ling early attack is not easy to deal with, and I mean, as far as Sharpy's concerned, despite going for an early scout, Sharpy is just not breaking a sweat at all, really. Just got the one pylon behind this wall still. No Zealot started, probably just gonna go right into a Stalker or an Adept, but that is playing with fire against a Zerg who's got a Roach Warren. So yeah, we'll see how well Sharpy's gonna deal with this. Looks like it's an Adept on the way, followed up by a Robo behind this in the main base, but that's pretty far away from this wall to help hold on. So maybe Sharpy doesn't have like necessarily a response to something like this planned, but I do find HarvesterZerg's build choice rather interesting this game, as we see making a lot of queens. 3 queens on 1 base is definitely not the usual. Usually you want 1 base per queen. Unless they're spreading creep. So we'll see what HarvesterZerg's gonna do, because HarvesterZerg is just making roaches and lings just chilling on this ramp. Looks like the drone is still in the main base of Sharpy, but yeah, Sharpy seems to be getting away without doing a ton. Despite you think that Sharpy would be getting attacked heavily by now, but that is not the case. So interesting bots so far. Seeing HarvesterZerg doing a little bit of harvesting, but yeah, let's take a look here. We see this Adept gonna complete the shade. We'll just die instantly. The one drone is still scouting out for HarvesterZerg, but yeah, nothing else has been produced or made, really, or well, aggressively anyway. I mean, there has been roaches made, but they're not being sent across the map. Creep is now starting to be spread by these queens, which is rather interesting. This just makes me wonder, like, what's the game plan for HarvesterZerg here? Just to keep making units on 1 base, then eventually go for it? Or perhaps just to stay back at home and then eventually get up to some later tech? I really don't know. This is actually quite interesting. Maybe HarvesterZerg just sees opportunity to die by expanding, and with a lair on the way, this is making me curious. Is this going to be for like a Nidus or something? There's lots of queens. I mean, there's roaches, ravagers, and lings, so I think a Nidus would make sense here. And I was actually, before starting up this cast, was thinking, like, what kind of bot would I want to make? And I think about that every time I cast one of these bot matches. And today I was thinking of, like, it would be cool if you can make, like, a Turtle Zerg bot that relies on, like, Swarm Host Nidus, just to spam out Locust everywhere, and see how that goes. Now, Sharpy is going for an attack. We'll see how well HarvesterZerg is going to be able to deal with this. Looks like 2 Overlords will be victims at first. The Queens are coming down the ramp. The Ravagers are actually tossing down Corrosive Vials, and the army of Sharpy could be getting overwhelmed a little bit. Is there going to be Corrosive Bile down on this Prism? Looks like the answer is yes. That Prism does just barely stay alive, but the attack of Sharpy gets completely shut down. So great move there by HarvesterZerg. Both these bots just turning up the APM dial, and we do see another expansion going up for HarvesterZerg, but still, no Nidus, no use of this lair, really. I mean, Roach Speed could be an option, but it's really interesting, the approach to how different this bot is playing compared to someone who would play a normal game of Starcraft 2. Like, a 6-minute expansion is not what you have normally as a Zerg, but in bot terms, it might make sense. Now we take a look. Sharpy just saturated on these 2 bases, throwing up an extra pylon, getting out another Immortal. I mean, it's interesting. Sharpy's got up a absolute ton of Zealots, but no Twilight Council, no charge. And it's just like the walking of the Zealots. It's the march of the Zealots, guys. Look at this. Look at this. It's just the slow march of the Zealots with the Immortals. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's a big old line of Zealots. Okay, so that, you better watch out if you're some creep. Now, let's take a look here. The slow Zealots are going to move in. They've got the Immortals to back them up. Looks like the Queens of HarvesterZerg are in trouble. However, the rest of the army is going to come up to help. Looks like that Immortal does get saved in the Prism, but I'm not sure if all of these will be saved, as the Ravagers and Queens kind of have the Immortals isolated. The Zealots are just doing their own thing to the left here. They need to join the party. It looks like the Prism with the Immortals does get picked off, so all the Immortals are gone now. It's just the mass slow Zealot charge. Sharpy now says, looks like you want to eco-expand, which is an interesting observation. These Ravagers are actually doing a very good job fighting back against these Zealots, basically endlessly, since they're chargeless Zealots. And looks like that HarvesterZerg totally just wrecked Sharpy bot's attack there. The lack of charge is interesting from Sharpy. Now we see a Twilight Council on the way. A 3rd base is on the way for Sharpy. But Sharpy in quite a bit of trouble, as these Ravagers are now going to move across the map. There's one Immortal running away. Charge has now started for Sharpy, but this could be the end for Sharpy. I mean, HarvesterZerg has got a lot of Roaches and Ravagers coming out. There is some more Zealots and an Immortal, but without charge, the Zealots will probably just be kited endlessly, as this wall is now under attack by HarvesterZerg. Alright, looks like some more Zealots are warping in for Sharpy, interestingly all at once, which is kind of cool to see, just spot things. The rest of these Zealots and the Immortal aren't really helping out too much. Looks like the Cybercore got killed, cancelled, attempted to be rebuilt, probably going to be cancelled again. The Immortal is helping push these units back, but then we take a look and see that there's just so many Raptors. This Immortal kills off a Roach, more Zealots are warping on in. But this is bad news bears here for Sharpy, as HarvesterZerg it kind of has got Sharpy in a negative loop here, as that Cybercore just keeps getting cancelled and attempted to be rebuilt. It's a hard life being a probe, as Sharpy has now lost quite a few probes. Lost the Cybercore, oh, who knows how many times. Only 2, all the others have been cancelled, but yeah, I think HarvesterZerg has got this one, ladies and gentlemen, and I didn't mention it, but there's gonna be a bonus game that I just couldn't resist to cast after this match, and you'll see what it is just momentarily. But yeah, good job by HarvesterZerg, playing a very, very defensive style early on, but that seems to work out. It's not like there's as much refinement in bots as in human play, so you can basically cut less corners and still be fine, which really does make sense. And then just, yeah, good attack by these Roaches and Ravagers. So let's speed this one up as we wait for the demise of Sharpy. Probes are trying. Probes are dying. There is 3 probes left, starting anew mining at this base. But yeah, I think Sharpy is donezo. Definitely donezo. Zoomies. The speed is zooming. Casual 32,000 APM. Looks like HarvesterZerg actually goes back. Goes all the way back home before being like, wait a second, you're still in the game. I need to deal with this. And then we take a look. There are now Ravagers, Roaches, and Lings. Gonna get the W for HarvesterZerg. GG gets called. And you know what? I'm just gonna load us right on into the bonus game, guys. This is the one. This is the game right here. It is going to be none other than Drone versus Better Worker Rush. I forgot that I gotta sign back in after some of these games. And I just saw this one and I thought, okay, I can't make a full video out of that. I couldn't possibly make one. But yeah, Drone versus Better Worker Rush is gonna be the match. which I think is just absolutely fantastic. So yeah, here we go. Loading on into Ice and Chrome. And you guys, are you guys ready for this? We got Drone taking on Better Worker Rush. Looks like Better Worker Rush is using probes. And the probes are already moving out on the map. Drone. It seems to be making a few drones before going for it. Whereas Better Worker Rush relied on that chrono boost in order to make this happen. And it's gonna be a battle of the ages. It's gonna be a battle of the ages. As we now see Drone actually does an extractor trick in order to get 2 extra drones. So Drone really has got the numbers, and now we're gonna see these bots run into each other. It's a street brawl between probes and drones, microing against each other endlessly. I get the feeling that Drone, just with the numerical advantage, is gonna win this, but it looks like Better Worker Rush is just gonna run home. Oh my gosh. One probe turns around to bait all the drones. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. There's 12,000 APM going on right now. Oh my god. Oh, the probes are just running away. Yeah, Starcraft bots are silly, guys, if you hadn't noticed. And now just cue the Benny Hill theme, as these probes probably should just run away forever, really. I just don't think there's a way that Better Worker Rush can win this one. A humiliating defeat, absolutely, as Better Worker Rush is now outnumbered 2-1 by his enemy's drones. His probes are running home. They're like, oh, we gotta go home. We gotta get back to safety. But Drone is just relentless. Drone is gonna be the victor, unless these 4 probes pull off some kind of miracle as they just go back home to mine to do whatever follow-up they had planned. And GG, Drone takes it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.